Life has been around for what, 4 billion years?
Yeah.
That's not that long. So 4 billion years, we've gone from single-celled organisms to the James Webb Telescope. We have Starlink, we have electric car, it's bananas.
Yeah.
You could imagine if we had another 10 billion years to exist.
Well, exactly. And this is the point that David Deutsch made in the book I've just been reading, and John Barrow and Frank Tiffler made before that. That although it sounds insane,
right,
as you said, and that 4 billion years, there's a lot to say about that, by the way, because for 3 billion plus years of that on this planet, it was just single cells. And so it's only in the last, let's say, 1 billion years, but actually a bit less, that we've had multicellular organisms. So 3/4 of it of the time were just single-celled things.
That's even crazier.
So, which is one of the reasons that many people think civilizations might be rare. Because if you just, the only evidence we have is this planet.
Right.
And the evidence on this planet is that single-celled life is sort of the way that things are for most of the history. And then, so it seems like an accident in a way that happened late on in the history of life on Earth that produced multicellular life. Now, whether is that typical? We don't know. Maybe it took a longer time here than it might do somewhere else. But if it's typical, I mean, 4 billion years. You said it's not a long time. It is a third of the age of the universe. So here,
when you put it that way, it's a long time.
1/3 of the age of the universe to go from the origin of life to a civilization. And so what was required here on Earth was that unbroken chain of life remained unbroken for a third of the age of the universe in a violent universe. I mean, we know there are impacts from space. Many stars are significantly more active than the sun. So the sun's kind of quite a boring little star that just ticks along. It's very nice to us. We're also on the edge of the galaxy, by the way. We're not close in. If you go into this region where that black hole is, there are a lot of stars around. There are supernova explosions and all sorts of stuff going on. So it's violent in there. So maybe you can only get unbroken chains of life for billions of years on the outskirts of a galaxy. So there are fewer stars and planets out there. And maybe even then you need to be fortunate.
Well, also, aren't we very unusual in the size of our moon and the distance?
The moon, it is big, and so it stabilizes the spin. So the spin axis, Mars, I think, if I'm right, I think the spin axis has wobbled around by something like 60 degrees or something over its history. So imagine that. Imagine Earth was, the pole was wobbling around and everything was falling over. You wouldn't imagine that complex life like us would emerge on a planet like that.
Right. It would be too difficult to survive.